Okay, here we go, I think. Super nervous about this. I've never done anything like this in the entirety of our time streaming. I should probably have some like quiet music playing in the background while we do this. But hey everybody, how's it going? D&D got canceled tonight, so we're gonna build a Gunpla live on stream. I'm sorry for the camera battery icon and the settings icon below there for aperture. I cannot get those to go away. I've been trying for like the last 5 or 6 minutes or so, and I just can't get it to work. So we're gonna just keep going as we are. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm super nervous. I don't even have the mixer side. Like, we're not streaming to Mixer because I don't even know if we can do this on Mixer. Mixer's made for games, you know? Whereas YouTube and Twitch are made for just about everything. We're gonna have some quiet music in the background. Also at the top of the stream here, I have to say, Friday's stream had to be canceled. I've already changed it on the schedule. I have to work, and I don't know what time I'm getting off. If I get off early enough, we may go ahead and do a stream. But it'll be like at least... He's just getting loud now. It would be like at least 6 or 7 p.m. probably. So just a heads up there. So yeah, we're going to build a Gunpla today, which means you get to see my desk. I've cleaned it up a little bit because of that. This yellow thing you're seeing is an Octopath Traveler coin. Which should autofocus. It's supposed to autofocus pretty quickly, but it looks like it's not. I can control the camera as well, so I can change the focus. But if I change it too much, then it puts bars on the screen. So yeah, this thing's my 14 authenticator. If you play 14, you should get an authenticator. It's real good. But we're going to build a Genoace tonight. Wanted something that was pretty quick to build that wouldn't be too difficult. So we're going to build a Genoace. Never opened this box before. If you've never built a Gunpla before, they're really cool. They're really awesome. This is my bag of tools that I'm going to use. I have to get used to the new angle the camera is at. Be able to show things. But I'm going to leave chat to King, and I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way. My keyboard will now go back under there. There's a fan under there, too, so everything's a little... weird, but fan out of the way. Put the keyboard in there. I should have done all this before, but I needed the keyboard to be able to type the stream tweet and everything. And there's only so much room in the world. Alright. Fan is now out of the way. Keyboard is now out of the way. Mouse is now out of the way. Whew, yeah, we're going to build the Genoace. So I have brought my tool bag, and the first thing that I recommend you use, you don't have to use, but I recommend you do is a mat. The reason that I recommend it, we're going to bring the camera forward a little bit here. Nope, back was better. Raise it up a little where you can see the stuff behind me, and then we'll bump this back. Nope, okay, that's good enough. So yeah, this is the setup now, I guess. But I recommend a mat. You can put your parts on the mat, and that way you don't lose them. It can be kind of annoying to lose them. Maybe we just axe the music. I apologize, everybody. This is the first time we've done anything that doesn't involve me just talking to a screen or playing video games, and I'm very nervous about it. Especially because I'm afraid you guys are all going to judge me on how I build Gunpla. But the next thing we need are nippers. Gotta have your nippers. It's very important. Then I have a brand new file, though this is not the kind of file I normally use. I have used it for some builds in the past, so, you know, hey, something to keep on hand, maybe. Then we have, we're not going to use that today, but we are going to use this. You may recognize this as a microfiber cloth. Show you what we want that for later. We have some Gundam markers. We may or may not use tonight. I have a full set as well. Again, may or may not use tonight. We'll see. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Have our separator. This is extremely useful for many things, as you will see. Then we have a couple other things here. We're not going to need any of the screwdrivers. Really. They're not for these kind of builds. They're for, say, real grades. Or, oh, okay, the camera just died. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be fine. The settings are all there for you never to time out. But I may have to mess with the settings every 5 minutes or so. We're not going to need these. These screwdrivers are more for real grades. Sometimes, or if you have a suit that has any form of like lighted LEDs, you need the battery, or you need the screwdrivers. Then we have a ruler. This can be very handy. Probably not going to need it for a Genoace, but you know, we got it in case we need it. We have our X-Acto knife. Very sharp. Careful. Do not play with it. It's not a toy. Chat. And then finally the files. These are the files I normally use. This file type. Where you have a bunch of different options. So that's what we got to work with tonight. That's what we're going to be using. I don't know how long the stream's going to go. We may go a little bit longer since we might not be streaming Friday at all. But if you've never built a Gundam before, hopefully this stream can help you build a Gundam. So, you take your bags that have all your runners in there. I normally use the nippers to help open them, because why not? The nippers are already sharp. Use your X-Acto knife too. Or if you're not a baby knife like me, or a baby human, strength-wise like I am, a red knife in chat, and so said it, then you can use your own strength to tear the bags open. But I'm a weak man, so I cheat. And these liners are going to be what all your parts are in, which is really interesting. I feel like that camera needs to be zoomed in a little bit, but there's nothing much I can do about it because it won't let me change anything. If anybody knows how to work this camera style setup run through an HDMI cable, please get in touch with me because I did a bunch of research and couldn't find anything that we needed. I normally take all the runners out of the bags right away. I know a lot of people that don't do that because they just don't want to have all the runners out right away. But I like to have all my runners where I can get to them. We're going to go ahead and move our markers because we may not even use them tonight. Also, let me know, chat, what do you think about the new border around the game so that you can always tell, and in this case the camera, so that you can always tell where things are. Hey Nathan, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're going to build a Genoace tonight. This was a thing that was requested by quite a few of our viewers. As I've stated before, I'm extremely nervous about it. Never done anything like this, but we're having a good time. I wish I could get the camera directly over the area I'm looking at. You guys could see it a little bit better without having to see the mess of cables behind me. I try and move it like there. This is a learning situation. We're going to learn it all. We're going to figure out how we want everything set up. But we're going to get there. Okay, that's a little bit better. You can see a little bit more now. So yeah, we're gonna go for it. I always take the runners out. I know a lot of people that don't, but I prefer to take all the runners out just so I have them all where I can get to them if I need them. If you've never built a Gundam before, because there's going to be a VOD for this stream too, this instruction manual is a lifesaver. You will want to use it as much as possible. You look at it and you go, but Trey, it's not in English. And that's fine. It doesn't need to be in English. As you can see, I'm going to get it close here. And hopefully the focus will be with me. And will actually have my back. It's not going to. So you look at the other camera. You can see that it actually goes step by step how to do it. So. Gunplay is freedom. That is correct. So if you've never done this before, the instructions show step by step what you need to do. It actually looks like this extremely expensive camera that I bought only focuses with this lens at a distance. So I'm just going to show everything from a distance from now on, because apparently that's the only way that it focuses. So. Alright, So what we need first are A2 and A1. Now, I said that your first or second Gunpla was a HG Genoace custom. Nice. I said that I didn't know how long the stream was going to take. And we may not finish the Genoace tonight. But I am a kind of slow builder. I'm meticulous with it, I suppose is the way to put it. And I am not very fast when I build my Gunpla. You didn't have actual tools when you first started? I didn't either. It was just fun figuring it out, you know? Using tools that my dad let me borrow. A2 and A1. You want to take... I realize that the camera is not doing a very good job of showing this, so I'll try to do it in front of the camera. But you want to take the nippers and get as close as you can to the edge of your liner here. I think what we may do for the next Gunpla stream, whenever that is, because I know there was talk of people wanting to see us build Gunpla anytime we don't have D&D. What we may do for the next one is put the camera beside me looking down this way instead, you know? Instead of above up there. Because that tripod is pretty tall. So that it has a better view of what I'm trying to show. Or we may just need a third camera to give a different view. A hands view, as it were. But once you have it cut as close as possible, you can just pull it right off like I did there. Also a bit of a meticulous builder, especially now that you bought a beginner's toolkit. I do not blame you, sir. So now we're going to take our piece. And what I normally do first is before I begin to use the file, I will run the cloth over it just to catch any rough knobs so that I know where they are. Because sometimes they can come right down. And then you take your file and you want to be real careful with high grades. Because with a high grade, if you're not careful with these two pieces right here, then you can very easily wear off a part you don't want to wear off. And then it won't fit right. And with nippers, tweezers, a file, and a marker you haven't used yet, Gundam lining is pretty fun, man. I actually got a set given to me by a friend of mine. And I've used it a little bit, not a whole lot. Chad, how are we feeling about the music? Do we want the music to go? Do we want the music to stay? What do you think? The music could go for me. I think I could go without the music while I'm trying to build. But if you guys like the music, then we will leave it. I should need to build more up here. It can stay? Okay, it can stay. Alright. I need to be doing everything up here so you guys can see it better. Yep. So we have A1 and A2, and then we need PC4 and PC4. And let me know how you can't hear the music. It's really low, Nathan. I made sure it would be really low for you guys. I can bump it up a little bit. All of it, of course, is from Pop Sky. That's like his music. You can go check it out. It's all free. He has, of course, allowed us to use it at no cost in the stream. So it is there. And then I didn't want it to be overpowering while we were trying to build. But let me know if that camera needs to... Like, if you cannot see what I'm doing, then there's no point in the camera being there, and we will readjust it. Okay. I can't, because the way the camera's set up, show you the instructions and the parts at the same time, and my hands are going to be in the way for a lot of the parts anyway, I'm afraid. But the way I look at it is this was a surprise tonight. You can see what I'm doing. Okay, cool. This was a surprise tonight. I did not have all the time I thought I would have to get everything set up. Oh, I forgot to get it on this side. And we are learning tonight, and every time we learn, we get better. I don't know if you guys know who Mecha is, but on YouTube, Mecha is a Fire Emblem Let's Player. And he did his first episode of Fire Emblem Fates because people kept asking him to play it, even though he didn't want to. His first episode, because he doesn't have a 3DS capture card, is recorded with a stack of books with his phone on it, showing him playing the 3DS, recording through his phone. Because sometimes you just got to try something and figure out what works, you know? It's real easy to say, well, just find the way that works first, but you got to figure it out. And it's that way with Gunpla, too. If you've never built a Gundam before, honestly, the best way to learn is just to get in. Just get a kit and go, you know? If I want to zoom it in further, I can actually do that right now. With my hands. About right there, maybe? Is that a good distance? Your first 3 Gunpla were all built without a single tool? Yeah, man, and that's fine. You know, my first 3 Gundams that I ever built, my first 3 Gunpla had nibs all over them because I didn't know how to sand down or file down nibs. And so nowadays I look at them and they look atrocious, you know? And that's perfect. Okay, cool. And so a couple of those I went back and actually readjusted to be able to clear off some of those nibs. But if you were to ask me why I'm using which file, mostly it's experience now as to which file I want to use. But I would say that just go with whatever file you feel like isn't going to trash the piece. Because your goal is always to make the piece look as good as possible while getting it ready to build the next part. And all of high grades, for the most part, are snapped together. So, as you can see here, now these 2 parts and the 2 PC parts, which are always going to be your gray connectors, have snapped together, and we have the basic frame for the body of the Genoace already. It doesn't take long at all to get going, but sometimes it can take a long time to get the finishing touches in, you know? Especially when you get into some of the other stuff. So it's important that you always find the right parts. If you find the wrong parts, obviously it's not going to work. And I have heard horror stories of people that have put, like, forced parts to go together that do not go together, and then they have a lot of problems, obviously, because they've ruined their kit at that point. Stuff is not meant to be done that way. Take your time, find the parts you want to find, and get it going. Feel a little bad about not having tools for one of your first 3, though. It was the Amazing Red Warrior. That's a good kit, man. I have that kit behind me, still waiting to be built, but I've seen the completed versions, and that kit looks really good. We need to do an episode of this at some point just on lining. I think what we're probably going to do is move this camera beside me. Really thinking about, like, putting the stream on a break for a second and moving this camera over to see if it looks better. Because at one point I want to do a lining deal, and you can't do lining with without being able to see, like, what I'm talking about. Because lining is one of those things that people are so scared of doing, just like painting a suit. But it's actually really simple. Your first Gunpla was the Genoace, the giant Kshatriya before the Kshatriya. Yeah, I understand. Gave you no stickers. So right here, I've made a mistake, and I will show it to you on the camera if it will zoom in there, which it should if I take up most of the frame and then change the focus. Quick mode. Should automatically, yeah, there you go. So if you can see, I got a little too zealous while I was cleaning off that nub, and I've cleaned the edge off the bottom piece there. It's not going to break the kit, it's not going to be any big problem, but it definitely is there. So it's something to think about when you're building a kit that you could, if you're not paying attention, make a mistake like that, which could irreparably harm the kit. Now in this case, it's not a thing that's going to break it forever or anything. It won't even hurt the connection. But I am gonna change my file out, and I'm gonna file it from the front this time, so that I don't cause that. And I'm actually gonna put my spacer right there as well while I file it, just so I can't file that spot anymore than what I already did. There we go. The new Azael is a pretty good suit. I like it. Speaking of which, tonight is drop night in Gundam Battle Operation 2. What are you guys' thoughts? What are we getting? My hands forward again, because I instinctively move my hands close to my face when I build. Alright. I'm starting to come around on the idea of having the music in the background. I think it might have just been that one song that I was like, this is a little too hardcore for building Gundams. I wish we could just put on the Gundam Build Fighters soundtrack, because that soundtrack's real good, but we get copywritten to, like, all crud if we did that. There's actually been people asking that we do this for, like, a regular stream. And, you know, hey, if people like this format that we're doing today, then maybe we'll do it more on regular streams. B-22. I like building Gundams. I enjoy building Gundams quite a bit. I do think we're going to have to move that camera, though, because I think you guys can only barely see what I'm doing, for the most part. I'm getting less nervous the longer we go, but the thing that still bothers me is where that camera is. So I think after we complete this step, I'm probably... because I keep pulling my hands back to work on stuff, and then you can't see. So after this step, I'm probably going to move the camera. I trimmed that one a little too close again. Again, not enough to be a problem, but it definitely happened. Where did I put that other... put our brand new file to use? It's a whole different type of file, but it definitely still works. I actually find these files are better at getting nubs off. The problem is these files also... unlike the metal ones, don't last as long, so they break pretty easily if you're not careful. All right, so these two parts, this goes into here, like so, and then this one goes right there. Alright, so what we're going to do real quick so you guys can see a little bit better is I'm going to put the stream on the break screen, I'll move the camera, and we're going to come right back. I was muted. This should be much easier for you guys to see now. And yeah, I have used the knife before. That's why the knife is still right here, in case I want it. Because I have used the knife to cut off nubs before. The problem is this X-Acto knife is extremely sharp. I have to play with the focus a little bit more for this. It is extremely sharp. And so it will... also, I love the cameras right here because now I can adjust the focus on the fly. Why didn't we do this before? Like, you guys can now see all the trash that's been shoved up behind underneath up here that I didn't want you to see, including a Dr. Pepper can and the tissues that I used to blow my nose with. But hey, yeah, now you guys can actually see. So hey, just now see my mess. Yeah, that's what the whole time I was thinking. Why didn't I just put the camera right here beside me? So yeah, now my hands are going to be in the way, but now you should be able to see a lot better than what we had. Which again, we learn as we go. You know, we learn as we go. So for these, what I normally do with these, it's really lazy. But instead of nipping them, I normally just like roll them until they come out. It's super lazy, but it works. So then we take this piece, it goes back in here. Oh, hey, it automatically found me there. That was cool. Now we have a connector back inside there, if you can see it. Camera? Do like the... Yeah, now you can see it a little bit better. Man, maybe now we don't need face live mode on. Maybe now we can actually, like, put on quick zoom. I want that square gone, though. That's why I was doing that. Oh, well, we'll leave it on face. You guys can see. So, now that we have this piece together, we can go into step 1, part 4. I don't know why I did that on 2 different cameras. Now I'm just being stupid because now I'm excited that the camera looks better. I was legitimately getting like super upset about how bad the camera angle looked. So again, we need number 2. I just roll it out. The reason I have this mat here, although I already had my keyboard mat, so it didn't matter, is so that it can catch parts if they fall. The music got super quiet again. You guys can't hear it at all, really? Yep. Okay. So then we have nub 2. We need another PC2. Wow. Okay. All right. We got plenty of them, so no problem. Another PC2. It's what you did for your PC parts too before you got tools. Might try doing that again to save time a bit. Won't know till you get another high grade. I don't blame you, sir. I do not blame you. One thing I've actually considered too, if this format gets a little bit popular, we might start doing some giveaways for high grade kits. That would be really cool. Do a build night, and then over the course of the build night, we do like some Gundam trivia or something, and then we give away a high grade to whoever is the answer. Although trivia might not be fair for everybody, because not everybody can remember everything there is to know about Gundam. So we may just want to do like... Realize now you guys can not see from the previous angle that I'm trying to put things at. We may just want to do like enter your name to win thing. Man, I'm so much more relaxed now than I was. Like having this camera right here where I know you guys can actually see. I was really stressing out about the fact that I didn't think you could see very well. And then another thing you can do, if you're like really nervous about it, is you can take your Gundam marker. Like if it's really bothering you, you know? Gleam is not a bad idea at all. That you have this spot on the side that's not colored the same. Alright, come on now. Come on. This is actually super important if you just... Focus, camera. Focus! Focus! I'll manually focus you then. Even manually focusing you, it didn't work. Alright, you can see it there though a little bit. The discoloration, yeah, right there. If that really bothers you, the discoloration, you can use your Gundam marker. Let me put it back into automatic focus now where it'll fix that blurriness. Yep. Man, it being right beside me really gives me some options. You can take your Gundam markers, and you can say, man, I'm really happy that that part isn't damaged, but I really don't like the way it looks. I wish it was a little bit more gray. And you can go, okay, well, let me take my gray Gundam marker, mix it up. That's an ASMR thing right there. And then you just do some light lining on the side there. And there you go. Now it's the same color as it was. Now you can't even tell that it was ever a different color. I'll just manually do it again this time. See? Now you can't ever tell it was a different color. Not as perfect as it could have been, but you know, it works. They're worth it, in my opinion, Nathan. They're kind of hard to use at first, but again, that's why at some point I want to do a little stream just about the liners and how easy they are to use once you've used them a few times. But they can be difficult until you've practiced with them a little bit. So then we take our 2s. Put them on the piece just like that. We actually may want to zoom this back out a little. I zoomed it in a little too much. Yep. Like that. Ready for some stuff. And then our 2 here goes to B8. Yeah, I've honestly been thinking about it a lot, though. Doing some more, you see how fat my arm is there. Doing some more, we're going to claim that's all muscle. You guys won't know any better. Building streams. Because I'd like to get back into, I used to review kits. For Envision Freeforms back in the day. Way back when. Nobody remembers Envision Freeforms. They were a thing that existed. And then we have B8, which goes into our piece here. Oh, I see the mistake that I made. Okay, we can fix it. So this thing right here, it looks like a file, but the real advantage of it is that it's an all. So it's a straight forward like stab, and you can use it. What I did was I put that piece in the back of this straight out, thinking that it would need a connector back there, but it actually needed to go down so that this piece could connect into it. So it needed to go like this instead of the way that it was otherwise, so that this piece could connect. And that's why you take it steps at a time instead of doing it all at once. Because if you just put everything together right away and you made a mistake, then you have to take everything apart again to be able to fix those mistakes. And that's not cool. Problem. Alright, so now we have what I believe is the cockpit of the Genoace. So, no, it's the chest. Never mind. Doesn't look quite right, though, but we'll go with it. That's what the instructions say to do. There's another piece that goes on the front, A4, and that should probably make it look a little bit more like it's supposed to. You can still see my lap. No. Really like the Gabaldi rebake. Put it together. You're making kit bashes, you're totally stealing his backpack. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Now, this is our first primary colored piece. And so these can be kind of a pain to get the nubs off without really discoloring them. Like red is pretty easy, black is pretty easy, and gray is kind of a pain. But this is normally where I use the X-Acto knife. And I just trim away at it. Always cut away from yourselves. As a reminder. And if you're not careful, you'll trim too deep. And the nub will come free, but you'll also cut into the piece you're trying to cut. Do that either. Okay. And side. You just want to lightly chip away at it. Once you're positive that you got it pretty good, you put the X-Acto away, go ahead and pull your paint off of it. Plastic, that is. And then you take your file and trim it up. Not too bad at all. I need to move the mic a little bit closer because I'm whispering a lot, not meaning to. Talking very quietly. Yep. And then this piece, of course, goes right where you think it would. right here in the middle. And it looks great. What we have so far. We're getting there. Don't forget, don't cut yourself. That's absolutely right. The stream not sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Much as I wish that it was. Alright, then we need number 6. And that'll go in place for the head. And believe it or not, we're actually not too far away from being done with this thing, if I had to guess, because we have the first parts all together now. See? The body is together. There's still a little nub right here that bothers me on the side that I missed. Trim that back just a bit. Alright. Not perfect, but it looks better than it did. So now we begin step 2. Unless you want to. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. A29. I was actually really torn between building this Genoace and building the RX-78-2 for our first build. And I was like, well, we only have like an hour we're supposed to stream. Let's go for the Genoace and see, you know, how far we get. I don't know how long it's going to take us. I've never really timed myself building Gundams before. I always just like slot away a couple hours and build them while I watch something on Netflix or a long YouTube video or an anime. So I've never really thought about how long it takes me to put them together, you know? Fine, this will be for the head. How will you pilot it, though? That's a good question. Alright, so right here, I was able to save it, but I almost nipped the edge of this plastic. You can just barely make out where I did it if the camera is focusing like it's supposed to. I barely nipped the edge of this plastic with my nippers because I wasn't paying attention. That's something to keep in mind. You want to be careful of that, so accidentally destroy the kit as you're trying to put it. I keep looking this way because this is where my preview of the camera is, but my face is this one. It's gonna take some getting used to. Not a big fan of the stock Genoace though. Straight up, it's most horribly outclassed in MS and Gundam history for when it fought on the front lines. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. I love the design of it. I think the Genoace 2 is even better. But they definitely are some of the worst power-wise, for sure. And there's not really, like, Obright and I guess Wolf are really the only two that pilot them with any great acumen. Because by the time Sarek comes around, they've moved on from the Genoace style. I gotta remember to lower my hands so you guys can see what I'm doing. Because I keep trying to move them up now. Before I was down here. We may at some point get a third camera. I still think a camera directly above would have worked as well. Or if this one was higher up, it may be even better. But for right now, this works. Reminds you of the Maxter Gundam. As if it's the GM to the Maxter. It is very similar to the Maxter, yes. Yeah, I think for the next time we do this, this camera is going to be a lot higher. And we'll be looking down on this desk. But yeah, about Friday, I have to go into work Friday morning, and I don't know when I'm going to get off. If I get off early enough, we'll do Time Spinners, since Kingdom Hearts is no longer releasing on the 26th. Here, it's still releasing on the 26th in Japan. Apparently, that's always been the way it was, and I was just misunderstanding because I assumed it was getting a worldwide release date. Blech. But Kakarot described the effectiveness of the Genoace. I mean, I agree, but it just wasn't as good as many of the others, you know? Alright. This is the eye. Which means it's time for that thing that we all dread. Stickers! Where are my tweezers? Where are my tweezers in this bag? My tweezers are no longer in this bag. This is going to make things interesting. This is going to make things interesting. Okay. Well, I can do it by hand. It's just been a while. Beam spray gun that did as much damage as Super Soaker on a hot summer day, and a stick. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Shame you didn't know that. Yeah, unfortunately, we will not be doing our regularly scheduled stream Friday, and we will not be doing Kingdom Hearts because apparently they didn't want to have a worldwide release. I'm actually super bummed about it. I'm trying not to let it show. But I've been bummed about it ever since I found out, because I really was excited to play Kingdom Hearts. And that's not happening now. Till after. So this is definitely the eye sticker. Okay, there it is. I was going to say, but it doesn't show it on the instruction, even though it's right here. So with stickers, the reason we all hate them so much is because of how small they are. How hard they are to line up with how small they are and how easy they are to mess up. I normally take my awl, it down, a little bit of force once I have it in the right place. Although I also normally have my tweezers, which apparently are not in my bag. And manipulate the stickers a little bit. If you're not careful, you'll tear them because they're there. And then your stickers are broken. And then you're just out of luck. Unless you want to buy a brand new kit to get stickers. Be careful. Careful with your stickers. Sticker care scares king. You did all your stickers on the Astray No Name, Zero Maru, and Gabaldi remake. Didn't do any for your 3 early kits, though. I don't blame anybody that skips stickers. I mean, you don't have to have them on a kit for it to look pretty good, you know? And they're not easy to put on at all. Okay. This one has the tiny sticker right there. And when I say tiny, I mean it is tiny. I think the album we were listening to just in. I say tiny. I mean tiny. That little green thing is the sticker. And we take our awl and we just pin it down in there, and it's not right. Off by just a little bit, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to readjust it without tearing it. Try. Oh, I got it. Nope. Now it's getting torn up. Got it. It's a little banged up, as you can tell. Perfect. But from a distance, you never know. Also, I love that this camera, I mean, this camera should be at 60 frames with how expensive it was. But this camera's in 60 frames, which is great. I love that. Without tearing off the sticker we already put on, add this piece to that. Now, this one also has a sticker. Hopefully, we're done with stickers after we get done with the face. Let's see. You never minded the water slide stickers? I don't know, man. Like, I just really dislike the way stickers work with Gunpla. And not having my tweezers is like the worst. Because it's not that bad when you use tweezers. You grab it and you apply it, you know? Don't have your tweezers, it becomes a whole other beast. Entirely. Nope. Let me start up another album, because that album did in fact end. And we have some other albums we can use. We've been mainly just using one album, but we have like 3 of them. Actually, we have like a bunch of them. Alright. Okay. Now we put this piece on the back. Oh, no. Oh, got it. Okay. Most of the head completed. And then finally we need the... I feel like I should stop saying, like, snide comments about how expensive this camera was. It's not aimed at anybody in the chat. It's not me asking for money. It's me frustrated because I used to work at the place that I bought the camera from. Could use the spike as a makeshift tweezer. I could. Like, they gave me a good deal, but it still is a really, like, not cheap camera. But I should stop talking about it, because I'm afraid people are going to be like, he's just asking for donations to pay for that camera. Like, well, no, that's not just venting about how the camera wasn't as cheap as I wanted it to be. Put our head on, and there we go. We have it. It's a little blurry. There we go. You misspelled. You did misspell tweezer real bad, but I knew what you were going for. I knew what you meant. So we have our first piece, and what I normally do with these is I just set them to the side, so that they're free and released and everything from here. I actually have an Exia that is half built right now, that I almost decided we would just finish the build, and I was like, no, for the sake of this VOD and everybody who's watching on the stream, we need to do a new build. Do something fresh, not just finish one that I haven't finished yet. And the only reason I haven't finished it is because I keep forgetting to. I made the mistake of bringing it into my bedroom with the intention to finish it, I guess, at the table in my bedroom, which has never happened. Probably never gonna happen. But I brought it back in here today so that I wouldn't forget anymore. Okay, it's supposed to have that piece on there. Whoa, I was panicking for a second. Okay. It's supposed to have that piece on there. Okay. I thought I'd ruin something. Is that sticker for the sensor visor? Yeah. Down Genoace head for a 0 gunpla. It would work. It would work. It's actually not that far off. You could paint it black and then do some trim work on it. And then we need PC1. Pull my map back a little bit. And eventually you just kind of get into a rhythm with it. I'm sure any of our builders in chat can vouch for that as well. But I was hoping this video would also be a good reference for anybody that has never built a gunpla before, that wants to know how hard it is, and how long it takes. You can build them faster than I'm building them. You absolutely can. I just like to take my time. I like to make sure that I get it right. There are also FGs, called first grades, or AGs, called advanced grades, that are even faster to build. If you just really want to build something and don't have a lot of time. You can also build SDs. They take less time. And then if you really, really, really want to build a Gundam but don't have time, there's these. And these are cool little sets that you get where they come in pieces. All the pieces are separate, but they're already pre-built. And you can just put them all together. And then you have your Gundams. And of course I have a Turn A. Because we all know how much I love Turn A. Just a little, hey, if you don't have time. I'm going to have to sneeze in like a minute. And you're going to see my hand suddenly dash over to the side over here to mute my mic. Because you have a hand cam now. I'll sneeze again soon. I can feel it. When you get real focused on making anything, your eyes get dry and you lose track of time. It is suit GB3. last night and it got like that. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. Alright. Take here. The reason I wanted an overhead view is because I feel like this hand is getting in the way a lot, where you're not able to see that much. But this is still a better view than the previous overhead view, so I'm not going to complain. Alright, and then sometimes you just have to make sure your pieces get together where you can just barely see the crease. Because if you can still see the crease, problem. I had to turn even further than usual so you wouldn't see me blow my nose, because I didn't want you guys to have to see that. You had one of those for the strike with its ISWP. Don't know where it is. Sadly, it might be in pieces. Oh, that's unfortunate. I know some people that build Gunpla and then put them in Ziploc bags and then put the bags inside like big tubs and then set those aside somewhere so that they can come back and pull them back out later because they just have too many and don't have enough room to store them in. I'm like, man, that's a way to do that, I suppose. All right. Welcome to the stream, Pat. Hope you like the camera and the dumb setup that it has to have. But we're putting together a Genoace. This is what we have so far. We're getting there. We're getting there. Again, I don't know how long we're going to go today. I'm sure there's some of you that would love to see us do this until we complete it. I probably could have just rolled these out too, honestly, but these are super tiny, man. Yeah, you can just roll them out. Alright, it takes two 26 and a 27, and they're different from each other. That's something to remember. Also, Pat, while you're here, do you know if this can be streamed on Mixer? This is not a video game. I didn't stream it to it. But I was curious if it could be. Oh, well, thanks for the sub there, Nate. Playing comp Overwatch, so if your spawn's slow, that's why. I understand. Alright, and I'll show you guys what I mean by how tiny these parts are. These things are minuscule. Try and get a better zoom of it here. Minuscule. Alright. Afraid to grind too much down on those edges. And where do they go? In the sides? Okay. The song feels like it could fit in Celeste. Man, that is difficult to get in there. How small that is. This is where I would have used my tweezers if I had them. Speaking of subs, by the way, we mentioned on the podcast, but we're at 300 subs now. For those of you who are in chat right now, do you have any ideas you want to see for a sub special? I have some ideas, but willing to take in other ideas as well. There we go. That was way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Those parts are now inside there. We need to trim back the top here a little bit. File it down. Oh. And what we might do Friday, I know I'm kind of jumping around topics because that's how my brain works. What we might do Friday is do a short stream of like Ace Combat or something, or Time Spinners. Because again, I have no idea when I'm going to get home and get off work. There is a 9. There it is. A9 and PC10. Your idea was dumb of giving a big heartfelt thank you to everyone. I mean, I can do that anyway. I don't mind doing that, regardless. I mean, I think we all know if I start doing that, I'm going to cry. Because I never imagined that I would be doing this right now. Putting together model kits on stream, and people would be watching it. And there are people that have been waiting for this stream that aren't able to make it right now. They're going to watch it on YouTube later. It's like, that's crazy to me, you know? It's insane. You're currently contemplating making a Build Divers fanfic? I need to finish Build Divers for sure. That includes Pat and Andy. They're also saying thanks, yeah. I mean, that would be one way to do it, is to just do a big thank you video. I don't think the guys would be against that at all. C5. Like, if not for all of y'all, I wouldn't be able to do this. So, I do really appreciate it. Like, way more than words could explain, you know? It's why I always try to make sure the streams and the videos and stuff are entertaining. It's why I'm always, like, trying to make sure that we have new stuff coming out. It's why I always have, like, a billion ideas that never happen. It's why I'm up all kinds of weird hours of the day trying to get scripts done and stuff edited. It's because I just want you guys to be able to get the best that you can get, you know? And I need to finish Build Divers. Is it pretty good, Nathan? Did you like it? I watched the first, like, 10 episodes and then just dropped off hard. Like, I just was not having fun Build Divers anymore. Alright, so now we have this piece as well. I don't know where that's going yet, but hey, we'll find out. Something you started thinking about today, but you already have a basic idea for your OC's Gunpla for it. I mean, that's a good like setup to do it in as Build Divers, to be honest. 3 or 4 may seem small, but like for me, just one person watching what I do is crazy, you know? So like 304 people that like to watch what we do is insane to me. And I know some of those people are only here for Pat. Some of those people are only here for Andrew. But, like, the full spectrum is all 3 of us, you know? It's not just me. And so, like, it means a lot that people are watching our stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to start crying. I'm not going to go any further into it, because if I do, I will. It means a lot. You enjoyed Build Divers? There's some really crazy moments, but overall, you really enjoyed the series? Are there some not good... oh, no. No. I forgot. We have to mess with it every... we have to mess with it every 15 minutes or so. Okay. I actually think it's a lot longer. I think it's like 20 minutes. I'll go back and finish it. I mean, I was going to go back at some point and finish anyway, because it's a Gundam show, you know? But I'll go back and finish it. So here is my current thought. We were supposed to stream for an hour. We have almost reached an hour, and we have not even gotten past the first page. Partly because we've been meticulous, and partly because we've had some technical difficulties, you know? We could go for like another 20 minutes or so, and see what we think. Hey, what time is drop on GBO2? 10 or 11, something like that? I don't mind going longer. But I also don't know that we're going to finish it tonight. Like, I know it took a while to get the stuff done that we have, but we got the entire front, like, torso completed. So, like, it may have taken a while, but we got a lot done in that time. So it's not like we weren't doing anything. We were actually being super productive. 11 p.m. our time. We got another hour before the drop anyway. There is Final Fantasy 14 maintenance tonight. So I got all my dailies done earlier before I went to work. Basic idea you have for your OC's Gunpla for the potential is a fanfic, is a customized Blue Destiny unit. That would be cool. I really wish we could get a Gundam MMO. Kind of like the way Build Divers does it. I just really don't like the main character of Build Divers, honestly. Riku, I think is his name. Kiki. Just find him kind of boring. Well, maybe he winds up getting better later. This is another trick you can use, by the way. You can use your nippers to cut the nubs off. Be careful. And sometimes you can't get all of it off with the nippers, so then you want to come back in and cut it off. And we need to put all these pieces together. Like so. And like so. We have what I assume is an arm. I really need to keep building out here instead of up here where I had been building. Either that or I need to zoom this out again a bit more. But then you can see the side of the PSVR. And nobody wants to see that. King loves the concept but hates the plot. Kids in Gundam are usually super annoying. Al is an exception for how smart he is. I mean, there's a reason that the guys over at MHQ call most kids in Gundam war orphans. Because they are. Okay, there's supposed to be a spot on here. Oh, I see it. For 2 more stickers. I don't know where the sticker sheet is. There it is. But yes, Al from War in the Pocket is incredibly smart. We may try and do some extra Red Dead tomorrow too to make up for Friday. Can't actually see me applying these stickers because my big hand's in the way. But trust me when I say it's not easy. That's the only problem I see with this current setup, is that my hand gets in the way a lot. So again, I think for next time this will be higher, and that won't be a problem. There. Go. And then one more sticker to go. And then we have to do this for the other one of these that we have to put together at some point too. Not what I expected to be next in Music Way. And in the way is fine. Not like you can see through hands. Yeah, I mean, but you know, like if the camera was higher, you could see over the hands. That's my point. say kids, you have to preface this was they act like kids. Almost everyone from Mini Gundams are kids. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, the War Orphans are like the kids on the white base that don't do anything worthwhile the entire series, you know? Like, they're just bad. I'm digging this. Good job, Pop Sky. Good stuff, man. A lot of the YouTube videos I see of people building Gundams are stop motion, so that they don't have to show their hands. That's really smart, and what we would do if this was a YouTube video, but it's not, so we can't. Right, then we need A16 and B6, and we'll have a hand put together. So the two best pilots of the Genoace, clearly, were Obright and Wolf Iniacal. In my opinion, anyway. I think they were definitely the best two. I don't think anybody else ever really showed any great skill, especially not Asumu. Asumu was a terrible Genoace pilot. And then what's her name? Dita? Was that her name? The kid? What's his face kid? She was a decent pilot, but not like a good pilot. Yeah, we'll have an arm. That's correct, not a hand. I almost said it again, too. Almost said it again. Yeah, Kotz is the worst, man. The only one worse than Kotz is Hathaway in Charge Counterattack. Hathaway and Hathaway's Flash, though. Now, that's a good character. Character, right? Okay. There we go. You have an arm. And it doesn't tell us we can do this right now, but we're going to go ahead and connect it to the body. Look at that. Look at that. We're getting somewhere now. We're getting somewhere now. Alright. That means it's time to build arm number 2. And that finished off that album too. So go pick another. There's a lot of them we haven't listened to at all yet on the stream. So let's see what we can find here. Let me know if the music's too loud again at any point. All right. Let's see. We need C7 and C6, just like before, except now it's in reverse. Got my nippers there for a second. I got so used to at the start of the stream picking the thing up where it would be like visible to that now I've forgotten that I need to be doing it down here instead of up top where I was doing it, so that you guys can actually see it. I really wish like we could listen to Gundam music, and it would be really great if we could listen to Gundam music while we do this. But you know, unfortunately, that's a big no according to copyright law. I had actually considered at one point doing covers of all of the Gundam songs so that we can listen to them all on stream, and you would just have to listen to my terrible Japanese so that we could use the Gundam songs. And then I changed my mind because I realized that would be terrible. Looks like a Genoace after being killed now. Perfect. I have a few kits that were in bad shape that I've held on to, so that I could have them for setups that are in like busted up shape and disrepair. Yeah, we could listen to the OG Gundam theme for 2 hours straight. That sounds great. Nobody will get tired of that an hour and a half in. People get tired of hearing it just in the soup breakdowns. There's no way they would want to hear it over the course of 2 hours. Whenever you think of little kid characters in Gundam, you think of Kyo. Kyo's pretty bad, man. Kyo's pretty bad. Yep. Yeah, the OG Gundam soundtrack has to be public domain, I would think, at this point, but better safe than sorry for now. We can find out later. Put those last 4 gray stickers on. I just need to get us an artist that can make music, that can make like remixes of the Gundam themes that we can use. That definitely won't be as hard to do as finding an artist that would make us a new logo was. That was so hard that I wound up just having to make it myself. Somebody asked me the other day too, I thought about this because I laughed. They're like, where does that laugh even come from? What is that laugh? What, like, you sound like you're having a good time, but what's going on there? And that laugh is my grandmother's laugh. That apparently was the laugh that my family had back in Germany. Don't make fun of my laugh. You're making fun of my heritage there. Joke, you can make fun of my laugh. I actually don't care if people make fun of me. It doesn't bother me. Overwatch comp is so frustrating sometimes. I'm sorry, buddy. That's why I don't play comp at all. Ever. Especially when people decide just to throw the match because they realize that they're not winning. And they're like, well, fine. I'm just going to have fun then. And it's like, but, okay. Guess we're not going to win then. Say so. B26, 27. Why did it only play one song instead of the whole album? There we go. Alright. B26, 27. Pat, are you going to be on around 11 or so? I don't know how late you can play tonight. It's drop night in GBO2, which means there'll be a new suit. And there'll be dailies, of course, still to do. But you never know, you know, what's going to happen on drop night. Also, there's a bunch of freebies right now in the game. Because of the announcement of Cross Rays. So I've been eyeing it. This again, this is completely, maybe even not long after, I understand. This is completely out of left field again. It's like everything I talk about lately. But, had my eye on another mic. Because I've heard that some people saying that the Yeti is not like a good long-term mic. And the mic that I've had my eye on is an Ars Technica. People say those are really good. It's about half the, or it will be if I decide to get it, about half the price of this camera. I don't know if you even wanted to play GBO2 tonight, Pat. I'm not going to force you if you don't. I was just curious. And we need to have a camera that shows just like the progress that we've made. This thing. Why is this one recessed and this one's not? I put it in upside down? I did. I put it in upside down. There we go. Yeah, we need a camera just to have showing. You have to drop off soon. Have a class at 8 in the morning. I understand, Nathan. You decide to watch the rest of the VOD later, see how it goes. Appreciate it, but if not, I understand that as well. And you have a good one, my friend. And hopefully I'll see you on Gundam Game Day. Who told me that? I was actually watching a stream, and they were talking about microphones. It was a bunch of different YouTubers in the same stream, and they were talking about microphone, and they were talking about how the Yeti is a good starter mic, but that sound quality wise, the noise gate built into the Yeti is not as good as some other mics. And they were like, what other mics should you use? And they were talking about Ars Technica, and they were talking about some higher end Yetis and things like that. It's Drummond put it best, I believe, when he said that once you start streaming, and it was the same with once we made the YouTube channel, you know, you always want to make it better. Like, it's just the kind of person I am that I always want to improve conditions of the stream and the conditions of the channel and everything to make it more user-friendly, to make it more available to people and easier to watch, things like that. And so I'm always looking for ways to improve it. And so I can't help myself. I'm always wanting to get new stuff to make it better. So basically, anytime I see even a smidge of criticism for, like, this could look better, then it's like, okay, let me figure out how to make it look better then. I don't care if people insult me, but it's when people insult my work that I'm like, I need to figure out a way to fix that. And I'm not, like, mad about it. I'm just like, I gotta do it. You know, I gotta figure it out. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm torn. I want to keep building this Genoace because we almost have the second arm done. And then all we have left is the legs. Like, that's all we got left after that is... I mean, we got to build the shield and the hand, or and then the weapon, but that's it, basically. But I also know that Pat won't be up much longer, and I wanted to play something with him tonight. I'm torn. We were only supposed to go for an hour, but I really want to finish this thing. Because we're not that far off. Nope. This piece. Then a PC-10 goes. Took an intro to recording class a few semesters back. I do recommend any kind of mic and be the Shure SM58. The Shure is a really good mic for sure. Oh, I didn't even realize the pun I was doing there. That is a good mic. A copyright on 1/29/2018 for an Iron-Blooded Orphans motion picture? Really? Making an IBO movie? Be kind of cool. It's gonna be live action? That'd be kind of weird. I mean, I could dig it though. I will keep that in mind, Nathan. Thank you. Alright, then we need A17 and A18. Did I already grab A18? I did. It's right here in front of me. Looking at it. I understand why music gets copyrighted in stream. Like, if I made the music and I didn't give you permission to use it, I wouldn't want you using it either, you know? Like, people might think you made it. But I made that, you know? But at the same time, like, as somebody who does stream, it can be kind of a pain when everything gets copyrighted. Wind up just having to find things that don't and then just using that. 11. Oh, I mean, I don't doubt you, but I would appreciate the DM to be able to look into it a little bit more myself. Yep. Here. This. Wait, what? Oh, I put this on the wrong one. That's why nothing was lining up. I was sitting here going like, why doesn't that look right? This is why you double check these things, chat. Because then otherwise you have to do stuff like what I'm doing right now to try and get a piece loose so that you can fix it. Because I put that piece on there pretty good. There we go. That looks more right. You could quote me on that. If for some reason you... Yep. A6. Trying to go a little bit faster now because of time. Me do... Oh, my keyboard's not over here. Dang it. The keyboard's behind all this. I was going to try and send a message. I didn't want to ask live on stream in front of everybody. Alright, this arm is almost completed. All we need left is the hand. Is B23 and A28 or B7 and A16. So hands are a little interesting, but I'll show you what I mean about that. I normally make all the hands that I can make and then have them put back in the box for the kit and put the box back on my wall. That way I have it in case I ever want to change the hands out. But you can put different hands on your kits, and that can lead to some fun times because different hands can do different things. You upload a privatized video with the copyright strikes from copyrighted music still apply. Yes. Even if your video is private, it will still let you know that it breaks copyright. I think. I've never tested it, but I think that the system is automated, and so it would still go, hey, no, you're breaking copyright infringement. I believe that is how that would work. I had a thought about how I could send that message. Send, and using my phone, which is right over here, behind the camera. Oh, you can't see what I'm typing, chat. You don't know what I'm doing. Ho 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 ho! You're gonna test it on a second YouTube account, find out if the music copyrighted? We'll find out, I suppose. Secretive me. Can't see it on the camera what I'm doing because my hands are in the way, because my tools are in the way. But you could see me sticking my tongue out, which told you that I was trying to do something difficult, I assume. Ooh, that was pretty, Pop Sky. Do that transition again. Hit me with that one again, Pop Sky. It was not Gyanko Hentai. No, it was not. Yeah! I am digging that, actually. That's really good. What is the name of that song? We're going to use that song more. That song is called Frame Loss. We're going to use that more. That is pretty good. I like that. B23 and B7. Goes on the other side of this hand. The one we're going to put on for now, because I believe we have 2 weapons to equip to this sucker. Have a good one, Nathan. Don't have too much fun. Make good choices. Be a responsible adult. So what I was talking about with hands is this hand. Oh, well. This hand here, that's still pretty blurry. Let me see. The hand. There we go. We have this hand, which is pretty cool. And we have this hand. Pretty cool. And normally I'll leave one open hand on there, but I think this guy has 2 weapons to hold. So we make both hands, and then we put it together. Then we have the upper half of the torso put together. There's the upper half of our Genoace. We just have the lower half to go, and the legs look pretty simple. Shouldn't take too much longer. Wouldn't think. Noticing that I forgot a part in this arm. Thankfully, we can take everything apart. We can get back to that part that we forgot, which was B5. Probably because that was right around where we started trying to go faster. We missed that. Yep. And there we go. Now that part's in there the way it's supposed to. Yeah. Alright. On to this message that I sent a minute ago. I'm almost done, chat. I'm sorry. I promise I'm not texting Yanko. It's work related, I promise. Alright, Contemplating. I think we have enough time to finish. I think we do. No! Should come back up in just a second. I forgot that we have to do something with this thing, or it will lose focus and decide it hates us, turn itself off. There we go. We're back in focus again. Well, not really. The distance is not really. Now we're back in focus. Okay. It is. It is. All right. Let's finish this thing. We need the feet. So here's the thing. I don't recommend you do this if you're new to building, but if you've built a few times, the feet are put together exactly the same way, just in reverse. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat and we're going to build them both at the same time. Because it actually saves quite a bit of time to do it that way. Again, if you're new to building, I don't recommend you do this. But if you're not, and you've done it, you've built the feet enough times separately on kits, and you can build both at the same time. I know it's considered incredibly unprofessional to text while streaming, but it was actually work related. sure it's also considered incredibly unprofessional to cancel your stream a day before you have it because of work-related reasons. But, hey, what can you do? What can you do? One final message, then we're done. The last one. As long as no more questions are asked to me. Last one. Alright. Now we're going to build the feet at the same time. Just teasing also, did Warner Brothers ever own Gundam like the music or anything? I don't believe so. To my knowledge, they have not, because the original Gundam theme has not ever popped up in a Warner Brothers product, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but they might have bought the license for it for the Ready Player One appearance. Maybe. But even that one is a stretch. Did that thing again where I didn't eat. But now I'm realizing that I should probably have eaten some food. I had lunch. It's not like I didn't eat it all today. It's just been a little while since lunch. Alright. Then we need PC3s. Okay, now we're going to put together 2 feet each. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, put it right here, and then it snaps down into here. Oh, I have it backwards. That's why it's not snapping. What the heck? One foot. Also, I think the camera might be back at 30 frames per second, it looks like. No, just the preview for the camera from the camera software is at 30. The actual stream feed is at 60. Sure, okay. How things work. Why does this video have the Gundam OST being since licensed by Time Warner? Like I said, maybe for Ready Player One. I don't know. But it did get copyrighted then. So it's really just the main theme that's open source at this point. Alright. B19. And B18, and then PC1 in between them. I lied. I have to send one more. Okay. It's not your video, it's someone else's? That's very strange. I'm assuming it has to be for Ready Player One. They would have the license. But wait, did you say Time Warner or Warner Bros? Because those are two different companies. I mean, I don't know why Time Warner would have it either. Time Warner is an ISP. This one facing out. Then have another one, PC1, facing down. Right. That was a sound. We have Bandai of America's phone number up on screen in the studio. Who's claiming it just called Warner. Oh, no worries. I'm gonna call Bandai of America to ask them why. Might be on the phone for a while. Yeah. Feeling this. Right, then we need B21 and B20. I think what we're going to have to start doing, though, so that we don't always put the entire suit together every time, is just hold ourselves to that hour limit and see how far we get anytime we don't have D&D. Because otherwise, I feel like we're just going to always do the entire suit every time. Real tempted to call when we run in dailies. Right after the stream, I assume. Because that's when the reset is. Or the resets already happened, but that's when the new stuff is. Drop. Starting to struggle a little bit. Yeah, I didn't want to run dailies till after the drop, so we knew what we had, knew if there was a step up or not. You know. I'll ask who. You know the answer to that question. I mean, that's one way to do it. Starting to think maybe we put this piece together and then we save the rest for next time. Because the more I think about it, the more I realize that I probably should have eaten at some point. 12 and B13. I don't think we're going to be done by 11. We have about 20 minutes till 11, and I don't think we're going to get done by 11. I think maybe we finish this part and then we call it. We were only supposed to go for an hour. I think from now on we're probably got to hold ourselves to that, or we're going to go crazy. Every time. Fun matches, have a good laugh, you start harassing Bandai. He said he will not be able to be up much later than that. No, I don't think he is going to want to do dailies tonight. I guess, based on what he said. PC-11 and another PC-11. 2 of them. And then my recommendation for if you are trying to build a suit and you had to stop midway through, is that you make sure that any parts that you have loose, you know what you're doing with them before you stop. That's always been my go-to for what I think people should do and for what I do for myself. I make sure that the place that I stop, I have all the parts that are loose are going to something or are clearly going to something. So there's no confusion when I come back. Let's keep working on the suit later. There. Here. This plate here. Which connects into A21. We don't have out, and then that will take care of that. Right here. There we go. That looks like it's supposed to be a knee, I had to guess. Which will eventually connect down to all of this. Actually might be a leg, the top of the leg. Yeah, it's the top of the leg. And then there's a middle piece that goes in right here and connects to the foot. So, we're going to call it here. We will come back whenever we don't have D&D again. We will continue working on the Genoace. We'll finish it next time, I would think, within an hour, without too much difficulty. This is what I normally do. I take my parts, I put liner first. My remaining liners that I still have to use. Then I put the loose parts that we have that have to go somewhere. We put those in there. Then we put the kit, what we've got made of it so far. And then you put the instructions on top of all of that. Oh, and stickers if you have any left. Instructions in on top of all that so you don't lose them. Close it back up. And you're ready for next time. So, the next time we don't have D&D, we will continue building the Genoace. We'll finish it. Even if we have to go a little bit longer to finish it. And then after that, we'll probably do a poll to ask, like, hey, what do you guys want to build after that of the suits that I have, the ones that I'm looking forward to building. And we'll just continue from there. But until next time, tomorrow we'll be doing Red Dead. And then after that, we'll have, of course, some other fun times coming with Gundam Game Day Saturday and everything. But until next time, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. And remember to always enjoy the Full Spectrum. The Gunpla building has to offer. Later, everybody. Sounds good, King.